Ever wondered what goes into Fido's food? Well, some pet owners are trying to make their own, but it's not as simple as it seems. Here with what they should know about home cooking for pets is veterinarian Dr. Julie Schell. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for being here. So it's really not about table scraps. No, this is a very elaborate process.
It is. It's very mathematical and almost like you're using physics. You're measuring things. You're making sure that the micro minerals are properly balanced.
And why do the animals need that?
Wow, you can overdose or underdose many of the basic minerals very easily. Like just 1 little ounce is different because many dogs are the size of a human infant. They're like tiny little things.
Right.
Yes, and so many studies have been showing that too much vitamin D can be toxic. Like everyone thinks vitamin D is a good vitamin, but in toxic dosages it can kill animals and cause a lot of calcification in organs. So yeah, little tiny microscopic malalignments of their measurements can really do damage.
Wow.
Yeah.
So they need to have the right stuff. Walk us through what we've got here.
Okay, so it's very important that when you're choosing the recipes that it is properly balanced by veterinary nutritionists, and there is a really good board certified veterinary nutritionist in this country and in the American and in the USA, like everywhere. And so you want to talk to your veterinarian to make sure that the recipe is correct for your dog.
Okay.
Yes, and make sure that you follow the recipes completely because there's software that they've designed to make sure it's like exact. And when it calls for cod liver oil, make sure that you do choose cod liver oil rather than salmon oil. They're two different things. Yep. And then there's also a very interesting oil called safflower oil, and it's much different than things like sunflower oil.
Oh,
yes,
so you're very specific.
Yes,
and this,
absolutely.
of course, is all to benefit your dog, right?
Yes.
You want to make sure they stay healthy.
Yes.
Wow. Now you've got, this is all stuff like we could eat.
Absolutely. It's all human-grade ingredients, so this is the quintessential way of feeding a dog. Definitely the most intricate way, the most energy involved is producing your own dog food, and it's a little bit more expensive. There are ways to make it less expensive by buying it in bulk or talking to your butcher and saying, hey, I need like 20 pounds of liver. Can you special order some in bulk? Because a lot of humans don't eat much liver, but sure as the dogs love it. They totally do.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you can also specialize it to your animal too, right? So if they're a senior citizen, if they're a puppy, they're going to need something special.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about that. You've got the different options here.
Absolutely. There's dog food recipes that are low in calories. So if you are trying to get your dog to lose weight, there's that. Or puppies definitely require different calcium levels. And so there is puppy recipes. There's even recipes for kidney failure. So if a cat is older and has the need for less phosphorus and less protein, then there's recipes specifically for that. So it's exciting now.
No kidding. And you have your little dog Lexi here, and she wanted to lose some weight, and you're saying that that's really easy to do if you've got the right ingredients and the right recipe.
Absolutely, yep. And they love it. They feel full. It's not like there's like a nutritional imbalance where they're feeling starving all the time. Like the food is so full of moisture and a lot of fiber, and so it makes them feel happy and satisfied.
Now this does seem quite elaborate. Is there a way that, you know, some little tip or trick that you can tell people? You had mentioned maybe a slow cooker or something like that would make it a little more simple.
Yeah, it's actually quite simple when you put it all in a one-pot cooking technique. And so I'm just like boiling the meat, and then I'll add in the vegetables after, and I'm doing my housework and doing my chores around the house while my food is cooking. In the meantime, the dogs are smelling it and just really enjoying it. And you can also pre-prepare the food in big batches. So if you need like brown rice in a recipe, you can prepare it one weekend and freeze it. All of these foods are fine to be frozen. I use mason jars, and I'll make like a big batch of it once or twice a month and then freeze them in individual mason jars. So
this is incredible.
Yes.
Okay, so this does sound like a lot of work. Why would you suggest it's a really good idea for pet owners to look into this?
It's a way that you can totally control what your dog is eating. Definitely, it is very good to feed a commercial dog food recommended by your veterinarian. Like there's all the proper ingredients in that if it's the right formula for your pet, for sure. But this is the step above that you can do, especially good for dogs with a bunch of food allergies, because you know exactly what is inside each recipe. Or say if the dog is very picky, and some dogs just don't eat canned food or dry food, so they need that extra bit of care. But overall, with practice and patience and proper help with your veterinarian, it's actually very doable and a lot of fun.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for being here, Julie. Fantastic information.
Thank you.
Who knew Fido could eat exactly what we're eating?